Good morning everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Volmer. And today I'm in my usual spot, except the background looks a lot more different than what it did when I last sat here. Because the last time I sat here there was nothing here. And as you can see, there's a few buildings, but I'll talk about that in a short while. Today is just basically a short video because this is going to be the last video before Christmas. So before we go anywhere, just like I say, season's greetings to everybody and a Merry Christmas to everybody. So this video is just going to be pretty much a little short update as to what I've been getting up to since the last video, which is a little bit more, not a huge amount more, because I just wanted to show you some bits that I've now got to move the layout on forward. Now, before I started doing the tunnel, which you're going to see, I had sort of found a tunnel mouth on eBay which I thought might be useful, and it wasn't a brand new version, but it was new. It was obviously somebody who bought it and never used it, and then they're selling it on. So I got it at half the price, because this actually retails at about £21 from what I could tell, which I thought was a bit expensive. But I got this for half the price. I got this for about a tenner. So this is a Gauge Master GM199 tunnel porthole, which arrived yesterday, and it's got the two buttresses next to it as well. And I was going to use this for this tunnel here. However, I mean, this isn't going to go to waste, because I'll be using this elsewhere as the extension gets built. So this isn't going to be necessarily just like sitting around on a corner, so it will be getting used. So, and it's really quite nice actually. And if I'd cut the sides off, because this is actually foam, I could have actually used this for this layout, for this tunnel here. But since I'm so pleased with what I've done here, which I'll show you, there was no need for it. Also, I've been to see Paul at my local model shop, as I do on a quite regular, frequent basis. But I've just been, that's my Digitrack system that's switched on, telling me that I haven't used it for a while. So it's kind of alerting me that, you know, that it's on. So I went to see Paul, and I've been sort of looking at getting some bits in terms of foliage, scenery, because I want to model autumn. So I've been getting this fine leaf foliage, which is pretty expensive stuff, but I do love the colours and on that. So I'll be experimenting with those. And I've also got some fine leaf foliage mixtures here. So I'm going to mix that all up, and we're going to have a little go at doing some autumn, because not many people seem to do autumn, and I love autumn season. It's probably one of my favourites. I love the changing of the colours and the leaves falling. So I thought we're going to have a go, and that's to go with this sort of overcast sort of scenery going on the background. So next, I'm going to take you to layout, show you progressively what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to give you a bit of a demo. So let's spin you around. So firstly, I've basically just sort of done this little area here. I've also added some fencing along TMD, just as you can see, and that will only go as far as there, and then from there right into the corner I'm going to be making the sort of same sort of fencing as, well, as you can see there, the sort of concrete fencing that I made, and that's going to be going on around on that other piece. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've also made my own catch pits. So this is one that I've just made. I've made loads of them. The reason is I know that they're relatively cheap, but I'm going to need a lot of them. And basically it all adds up. So I've made a load of my own. It's just a representation. It looks right. It's the right size. It's the right height. It's the right colour on top. I mean, it hasn't really got the dots or anything like that, but it does sort of give a representation, so I'm perfectly happy with that. And as you look down the layout, as you can see, there's another one there and there's another one there. So they're sort of evenly spaced out as they are in the real world as you go down towards the other end. As you can see, I've also been making my own cable trunking. It's a very tedious job. I haven't got all the way through because it finishes just behind, as you can see, just behind there. So I've still got to bring that round. And it's a very, very tedious job, but I've managed to make a start on it. And that's the cable trunking that I've done all the way through, as long as with all the catch pits. As you can see, I've got some buildings going on down there. They're not going to stay there. It's just me sort of playing about with some ideas as to how I'm going to build up the scenery behind the embankment or the viaduct. Because one of the ideas I'm sort of toying with as well is maybe not having much, but just sort of having these sort of, because I'm doing the autumnal feel, is whether I just put some of these armatures, a line of them all the way along the back, or whether I have the buildings along the back and then maybe sort of these along the front, just to sort of give you sort of a glimpse that there is sort of a building behind there. So I haven't really worked it out yet. I'm still playing about with ideas, but these are old buildings that I'm just sort of looking at. And then, as you can see, I've actually made a start. Well, I've actually sort of finished the tunnel mouth really, but as you can see, I've flocked it and scattered it. So we're just going to take a closer look at that. So for this bit, you're off the tripod and you're just literally on ground level. And as you can see, this is the scratch built tunnel that I've just made. And as you can see, my 37 is there. And there is a reason for that. We're going to give you a demonstration on the reversing loop shortly. And as you can see, I've also just flocked it. So this is just like the first part of it. And then that will go into the tunnel, and the tunnel goes all the way to the very back for now. So this is the other end of the tunnel. And these are those foam blocks that I've stuck together. And then what I've done is, not only have I stuck them together, but I've put plaster cloth on top to seal them, just give them strength. And then, as you can see, I've just painted the insides of it, and that gives you the sort of dark effect that I'm looking for. So as you can see from this angle, it's totally painted up, and you can see it all the way through to the other end. So I'm just going to give you a little demo on the old reverse loop module so you can see it for yourself, how it works. Mike and Sue was asking me about the triangular section, so I'll just quickly explain that. Now it's got the DBSO on the back, as you saw earlier, and that's just sort of to give you a sort of demonstration and so you can see that that when it comes back, that the DBSO will be facing the other way around. So as you can see, it's just coming around this bend here. It's just going around slowly. And it crosses over the first board, so it's just crossing onto the lift up section as it makes its way. And it's about to make its way back onto the main layout. Do a little bit more. It's just making its way around the layout. So it'll go underneath the town scene, and it should just emerge right in that corner. Here it comes now. It comes back round the loop. And it draws back. In the main section, and it will cross over now. As you can see, it's just making its way. Now what I've done is, this is where the reverse loop module is. It's just under here, as I showed you in the last video. And these are the 2 power points for that loop going that way. And that's connected to one side of the reverse loop module. And basically it's then isolated off between this section and the points over on the other side. And then at the other end, it's connected to the other end of the reverse loop module. And that needs to be connected to the main bus wire of the layout. I haven't actually done that, and I didn't realise that. So I'm going to have to redo that. Because what I did is I basically hooked it up to this next piece here and here. But what I realised is that when I flipped the points over on the main layout, it cut the power off here. So I need to actually make sure that this is rewired to the main bus wire as opposed to just here. So I'm not really the best at explaining wiring, but basically my consumer was asking me how I did it. So this concludes the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. And until the next time, it's bye from Mildenhorn Vom. Goodbye.